welcome to my Pick a Card channel, the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm here with a Pick a Card reading for you. And today's topic is all about a no contact situation on your mind and what was left unsaid between the two of you. So what does this person wish that they could have said or wish that they would say today if the two of you were in contact? This can be a very short no contact situation that you find yourself in, or a very extended one. Whatever resonates with you, please take what resonates and leave what does not. So we do have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 here with the Coyote and the 7 of Swords. Pile number 2 with the Devil and the Snake. Pile number 3 with the 5 of Cups. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be messages waiting, and my timestamps are listed below. I'm going to jump into pile number 1. Again, today's no contact situation on your mind. What was left unsaid? Pile 1, pile 2, pile number 3. I'm going to jump into pile 1. Hello, pile 1. You were drawn to the 7 of Swords and the Coyote, and this is your reading. What was left unsaid between you in this no contact situation? Now, the Coyote can really be a symbol of like acceptance and accepting of things that I've done wrong, accepting of my own conflict. I'm trying to find some type of teaching in the things that I've gone through and the things that I haven't done or things that I haven't said as well. They are referencing having grown up a lot. I always think of little boys that have to grow up when I see the T-Rex shadow here, and they're speaking here about perhaps shadows of doubt that they harbored in their past or when they were young, perhaps when this situation was in contact, maybe even years ago for someone watching. And the truth is that even if it has long since passed, there's still smoke here. So where there's still smoke, there could still be fire. They still kind of carry the conflict in their heart over this situation. So even if, again, if the two of you are not in each other's lives, it doesn't mean that you're not still a constant companion perhaps for this person in their mind. So let's start here. We're going to use the Wild Unknown for you today, pile 1. In this no contact situation with the person on your mind, what was left unsaid between the two of you? We're starting here with the Queen of Cups. A lot of Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio coming through. They really feel, first of all, they have this impression, and this is perhaps just a assumption that they're making, but they do have this impression that maybe you've moved on or that you don't feel the same way that you used to feel. But the truth is that I do feel like this Queen of Cups, there's always going to be a little bit of a place for this person in the Divine Feminine's heart. But it feels like even they're referencing like a wild goose chase in the past of this connection. So this could even reference, this person could be referencing a back and forth flirtation cycle or a cat and mouse game between the two of you, where we were not communicative enough of our feelings, or we weren't, maybe we didn't even know how to form the words. We were ill-equipped. Here's the 9 of Wands. We have the Death here. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the King of Wands. A lot of Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. And we have the Hanged Man. We have the Devil poking out here with the 2 of Wands. A lot of Capricorn energy. There is the Star. Now, first of all, this person is speaking about how they maybe have looked you up online since the no contact situation has come in. And I do feel like in this situation, the two of you have really moved into new lives and maybe moved into careers, moved into family, moved into responsibility. It may be a long-standing no contact situation here. And this person sort of visualizes a parallel life with you. It's like we could have had it all if we had gone down this path together. And so they're always left with this knowing of like, and the knowing is an unknowing of where we could have gone and where this connection could have taken us. And they really want to discuss that with you because they feel like they held the truth close to their chest and they weren't honest with you about it. But they also feel like that perhaps you feel the same way, like you weren't honest with what you had to say as well. And although perhaps, you know, that the horse has long since escaped the barn, again, maybe it's been a long time. Look at how this Ace of Pentacles, the tree trunk has been chopped off and it's so dried out that it's starting to split and break, and yet the center is still alive and there's still these leaves that are growing out of the stump. So even if this has been long since released in the gaze of the collective, perhaps, doesn't mean that this person has let go, because they're still holding on to this opportunity that could have been with you, and they feel like they left you with a really poor impression of them. And I feel like that's what they really want to get off of their chest. They really want to clear the air and be honest with themselves and with you, perhaps for the first time. Because there's still something that they protect about this time period, protect about this connection. And I just got a reference to being kind of spread thin as far as their ability to explore this again. So they may not even feel like that's possible to explore it in a dynamic of where it could have been. But it's like they really want to express to you that they recognize that it could have been something really important. And it could have been something very real. And I feel like they are sort of stuck in that shoulda, coulda, woulda. And for a long time, I think they were in denial, and they may have even projected some of that denial and some of that frustration towards you, wondering why you didn't speak up or wondering why you didn't have the courage. But that was just their way of processing and trying to protect themselves from the truth. Here's the Judgment. Because the truth is that even when they were projecting that frustration at you, they're telling me that they were actually mad at themselves. And it's like I'm hearing as well, it's like if I could just go back, if I could go back and make new decisions and different choices, I definitely would. Here's the Hanged Man reversed. And we have the Hanged Man in the future position, and that's where I feel like some of the victimhood and victim mentality can come in and slip in. It's like sometimes they allow that to cloud their judgment even today, but they're getting to a place of acceptance. And I feel in this moment, they wish that they could have this conversation with you, but they are speaking about feeling like a traitor. They don't want to be a traitor to their current realm or, again, to investments, relationships that they have right now. And yet they still just can't deny in this situation that there is smoke, and where there's smoke, there's still fire. And part of them really wants to protect that time period because I feel like it's almost precious to them. It feels like a coming of age story. But I keep hearing that song, Rolling in the Deep. And they, again, it's not that when they come forward with this confirmation or when they want to have this communication with you and have this conversation about what was left unsaid, it's not like they are holding on to a lot of hope for more. And this could just be like helplessness that they're experiencing. Not that there aren't avenues that could perhaps open up the connection again, but in this moment, that's not what they're focused on because, again, they don't want to look like a traitor. And perhaps this Ace of Pentacles being a tree trunk speaks a lot to what they've invested in their life, which can represent, their career, their family. Because they definitely have this feeling of like, I just want you to know that it just is what it is. No matter what happened between the two of us, this will always hold a special place in my heart. And I've had, especially moving into the future, they have this epiphany. They have more of an epiphany about how that time period changed them and what a critical role you played in the formation of who they are. Here's the Star. They also are speaking about just having a huge crush on you, maybe even in the capacity of the past, just having this huge crush on you and spending too much time feeling ill-equipped to express how they felt at the time, that they let the time slip away. It's like I spent too long protecting myself and not making myself known, and I let it slip away, and I thought I had more timing. But again, the internet comes in here. A lot of Aries energy coming through. And they're also saying that they will always kind of hold this torch for you. Aww. That they will always care about you. Again, they keep highlighting the Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio for the Divine Feminine. They could even be referencing children for the Divine Feminine, so please take that as it resonates. They could be well aware of what's going on in your life, which is why they have this it is what it is mentality, even connected to you, because of the practical complications that exist right now. And that's why they don't reach out, because they don't want to create complications for you or for themselves, but they'll always hold this candle for you. And part of them hopes that you will also always hold this candle for them. What was left unsaid, please? Truthfully, what they feel like what was left unsaid was the truth, the way that they felt. We have Paradise, happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, onefulness, enjoying each other. We have here the Chaser in codependent relationships and fear of abandonment issues. And they're giving reasons why this paradise, this fantasy world didn't come into fruition for them. It's like they wanted to expand. They wanted more. They're speaking about a flirtation, a back and forth flirtation or playfulness that the two of you perhaps were embodying or were a part of. Could have even been considered a friendship, but they do feel like they sabotaged it. And they've grown up a lot. I feel like there has been quite a few years that have passed here, and they feel like they've grown up. But when they think about you, it takes them right back to the past. We have the sword and the rose. Truth, clarity, revelation, force, honor, protection, and power. And I feel like the truth was a blessing and a curse as well, because there's something empowering that they get from the flirtation from the past and from that period of time with you. It invigorates them. They like to think about the possibilities that were. But it also saddens them today that they may never get the chance to truly know what they're missing. Again, they're bringing up the idea of children, perhaps you being a parent. What was left unsaid, please? It says here, I am planning to surprise you. Now, they don't feel that necessarily now is the time. They feel like contacting you would require some really a cautious approach, I feel, at this moment here. But they do, I just saw the sexual thoughts that run through their mind. I am not blind to the signs, I see them. And I've been receiving your telepathic messages. They may even feel as though you have given them some type of clue, or a message was sent through the internet or on Facebook, or it's like a post that they have interpreted is about them. They may or may not be true about, or they may or may not be a factual situation, but this is what they've interpreted about what they've seen. I've looked into tarot readings. I know that you are my twin flame because you gave me that spark. Again, it feels like an awakening, like a physical awakening, a sexual awakening. I'm always reminded of you. But we also have here, I've thought about you spending time with my family and I've thought about living together. So they've had this fantasy about what it would have been like to perhaps even integrate homes or even perhaps build a family with you, focusing on the parallel of the path that they could have walked in this connection. I've been trying to manifest our connection. What was left unsaid, please? I do wish that we could be in a relationship. It says here, I have options, but deep down, I still only want you. The back of that deck. Oops. What do they wish they could say? What was left unsaid, please? For pile number 1. Are you mad at me? Because I want to be more than friends. They perhaps were worried about transitioning this from friendship to more. I fell so hard and so fast for you. What do they wish that they could say at this moment? What was left unsaid? It says here, I am ready for a fresh start with you. That's the issue, though, is that I don't feel like they are ready. It says, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for your call. You are on their mind daily. But it feels like it's a secret. And they know, perhaps, again, that this desire for you would create conflict for you or for them. What are you doing right now? I'm sorry if I ever hurt you. Ooh, I lie about my feelings for you. Let's get one more. I'm stuck in a karmic cycle with you. And they wonder, do I think about you too much? They may even feel like it's not fair or it's not appropriate to think about you in the capacity that they still do, pile 1. Let's get a charm bowl, please. What is the last thought that this person had about pile 1 in the charm bowl today? The Death reverse. Everything is stuck in limbo. There's so many shoulda, coulda, wouldas and so many unknowns for this person. It's like they held back because of paranoia. It's like they were so, and I feel like it was more like a lack of experience that made them hold back. And they keep referencing whether or not you're upset with them or frustrated with them. I feel like they almost get triggered when they feel like you are upset with them for not expressing themselves or not expressing themselves properly when it comes to you. Even in this moment, if they hold back, they're worried about your response. If they do reach out to you at this moment, perhaps kind of applying a cold front coming in. If you were to hear from them, they're really concerned about that as well. They're a bit still paranoid about taking action or creating any contact. But I'm hearing that song from Mad About You, Stuck in the Middle with You. It's like I'm stuck in the middle with you. We have the letter E and Q. We have the letter M. We do have the 6 honey cells. I do think of karmic cycles. I also feel like, you know, experiences and collaborations between the two of you that will never be forgotten, will never go to waste. We have separation with the pentagram here, and timing, perhaps a lot of time being in no contact as well. Here's the screw. I do think of like labor-intensive work, also very sexual-oriented. We have the Bible here. It's closed. And we also have the umbrella. Whenever I think of the umbrella, I think of like brotherhood, and I think of somebody who wants to protect you. So it's like somebody who perhaps presented themselves like a protector, like a friend. And we also have, I think of the Hierophant for the Divine Feminine and moving through a grief cycle for the Divine Feminine. Pile 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. Drop your comment below for your chance to win a free reading with me. You just have to drop your comment beneath any of my videos this month for your chance to win. Be sure to hit your notification bell because I will notify you underneath your comment with instructions on how to reach out to me to get your reading rolling. I will never ask for payment, so be sure to protect yourself from people who are scamming or who are trying to pose as the Tarot Cottage, of course. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to as well, and that link is below, and I do update that shop daily. But I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the Devil, and this is your reading. This no contact situation on your mind. What was left unsaid between the two of you? Now, this Devil is very fiery. There's a lot of physical connotations with this Devil as well. So this person may have just really wanted to move this into a very physical realm with you. It talks of intense passion, intense addiction as well. Even almost like a dependency to this connection, and even perhaps deep insecurity associated with it too. But it almost feels dangerous, the attraction that this person feels like they still have. So let's take a look here. I'm going to use the Shadowscapes Tarot for you. In this no contact situation for pile number 2, please, what was left unsaid? What does this person wish that they could express to pile number 2? We have Strength coming out here, Leo energy. We have the 10 of Wands, and they're highlighting like no contact. They just zeroed me in on these birds that are sitting on the bird bath. And whenever a bird's not in flight, I know that there's no information flying in between the two of you. So you're not reaching out, this person isn't reaching out, and perhaps it's not because of a lack of desire. Maybe you have to capitalize upon your strength, and so do they, in order to not reach out. Because they're wearing a heavy mask right now. It's like they can't tell people how they feel, or they can't express it to you. They feel like they're carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders, literally. And the world that they're carrying is all of this inspiration connected to you. And every time we get inspired by something, it's meant to help us focus our energy to act upon the inspiration so that we can manifest what it is that we want. But this person doesn't feel like they can do that because they'd have to take a mask off in order to express everything that they want to say and do everything that they want to do. Here's the 7 of Swords. So they just lie about it. And they keep that mask on. And it's like they feel like you slipped away. And you're slipping away because they're keeping that mask on. Because they're not being honest, and they're admitting that. And they say that they can't. They have to lie about their feelings for you. Sometimes they even try to deny it to themselves. Here we have the 9 of Wands. But you'll notice like that they just highlighted the 10 and the 9 together being the 19 of the Sun and clarity. So it's not that they haven't received the clarity. They know how intense this feeling is for you. And it's a battle. Here's a whole bunch of warriors lined up. It's a battle. And logic tells them to stay quiet. That's what they want to also say, is that logic tells me that I should keep quiet about this. My ego's telling me this is going to blow up in my face. But there's just something that it's like my desire for you makes me slip through logic. It's like I try to find an escape route. Because it feels very tempting and it feels dangerous, the desire that they have. Here's the Queen of Cups. Here's the Ten of Pentacles. And maybe it's dangerous because maybe there is a lot of commitment cycles here, whether it be on your end or their end. But it's like there's still this wish fulfillment that lies under the surface of some practical abundance, because this represents somebody who has built a lot for themselves, built a family, built a home. Again, it could be representing what you've built, but underneath it all, there's still this desire, there's still the strong momentum that pulls me towards you. And that's what they also want to express, is that there's the strong pull that brings me towards you. Because the sun, the clarity of how I'm feeling is ever present. And that's the natural push, the natural momentum, and all of this inspiration that's asking me to take my mask off and asking me to put my effort and my strength into the battle that this requires. But there's this reference to like surrendering and having to release and timing with the turtles as well. And perhaps knowing that perhaps this is a difficult situation for you as well, which would require a lot of obstacles or complications to be cleared out. So appearances are deceiving. They want you very much to know that if there is attachment, if there are commitment cycles, if there are families involved, that commitments or that appearances are deceiving. Yeah, and every time I see strength twice or I see a major theme twice, I know that two people, especially if we're dealing with the collaboration, are struggling. Taming the desires within them. Ten of Wands, Ten of Wands. Justice and the Seven of Cups. I'm also looking at the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Page of Swords. They also want you to know that there is definitely a sense of voyeurism. They're watching you perhaps, or they're privy to what's going on in your life at this time. But it's like they'll never know. There's this fantasy. It's easier to fantasize than it is to face the consequences of how they truly feel. Because this Ace of Wands leads to the Ace of Cups. And because they don't know what to do with it, they are, again, putting it on my back and just trudging forward. It may be very much easier for both of you to fantasize than to make it real. There could be two people that are actually living in a parallel existence here. Two people that are both attached. Two people that are both committed in another cycle. And we allow the emotional confusion to be maintained because we're just trying to keep everything in balance. I'm just trying to keep everything the same. I'm just trying to keep everything calm and empowered. But it feels like I'm keeping the peace for other people because it's definitely not this person's peace. Here's the Magician. And I feel like they hold back, but it's not because of a lack of desire to communicate. They feel as though there could be the two of you crossing paths in the future, and they feel like it could be the result of your efforts or the Divine Feminine's effort bringing forward this opportunity. Because it's almost as if they are waiting for a sign from you. Here is the Knight of Wands, because they also want to say that you make me want to do naughty things. You make me want to just be reckless and to just act based on my desires. And I know that that could be a selfish desire to have in this moment, because perhaps I do have an attachment. But this connection with you and acting upon this connection with you could even be a part of my awakening into taking action towards what I truly want. But there's the High Priestess. And again, here's the King of Pentacles. Someone who is sitting upon the information they know to be true, sitting upon the feelings that they know to be true, sitting upon the confusion that they also know to be true here as well. What did they leave unsaid, please? We have thinking of you. It says a loving thought and serendipity. And the other thing that they wish that they could touch upon or speak to is the fact that they do wonder if this could have been like destiny. But I think this person is a very pragmatic person or a very logical person, and they might struggle with this idea. But you make them second guess that. We have temptress, seduction, deceit, and a broken promise. Number 15 of the devil. And that is why I feel it's a sacred soul journey, life cycles, family, and transformation. And so the temptation that you represent is still very much real. And they can't say these things because if they do, they get tempted into other realms. And in this moment, they feel like that is, it's almost too tempting and it could be destructive. But you are Gaia. It says wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual understanding. And they've come to understand through all of the fire. Even backup deck says purification through fire, bare essentials, the naked truth that leads to wholeness. And it's when we sort of get inspired by the flame and then we get consumed by the flame that oftentimes we get reborn. If we think about the phoenix rising from the ashes. So all of this inspiration is to promote truth. But they're holding on to this truth and not letting it out because of the fear of what that will do in their life. And perhaps even the fear of what it might do in yours. What was left unsaid, please, for pile number 2? I am sick of no contact with you. This is coming from the Cottage Divine Masculine Oracle, and you can find the link for this oracle beneath this reading. It says, I am still haunted by us, but I don't know how to tell you the truth. You take my breath away. It says, I would come forward with an offer, but it also came out here with, I don't want anyone to get hurt. And they are concerned about other people. But this separation is killing me. I wish that I could see you again. We have a past life connection. They're already showing me I'm losing hope. Let's get one more from this deck. What do they wish that they could say? What was left unsaid? I feel stuck, but I still fantasize about you. I sometimes worry that this is all in my head. And that may be the logical side of their brain, really focusing on the obstacles here. What was left unsaid for pile number 2, please? I pretend I don't care, but I do. I know what I want. Again, I am haunted by this connection. I think I am in love with you. There's also a reference to your laugh, whether it be like a very unique laugh or them liking the sound of your laugh. You make it easy to fall in love with you. And please forgive me. Back of this deck says, I am wearing a mask. And that has been the imagery from the very beginning of your reading, pile number 2. So let's get a charm bowl for pile number 2, please. What was the very last thought that this person had about pile number 2 in the bowl? Here's the Tower. Oh my goodness, they were thinking about explosive results potentially. They were thinking about epiphanies that come in to change everything and not being able to take it back, but also not being able to unsee or unfeel the feelings that they have. They were also thinking about, like, again, what they have not said to you, the lack of closure and clarity in the situation. And they're thinking here too about a supportive role that they play, perhaps in a karmic relationship. They may be worried about creating closure or clarity in this connection now because it could create chaos for you or for them in karmic relationships. We have the morning dress here. We have QV. And we do have the little cross reversed. I do think of victim mentality with the little cross reversed. I also think about like going out and having fun, wanting to get you intoxicated with the grapes, a sense of like sensuality with that. Commandment from the Bible, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. The letter G. We have police, and we do have here the honey cells, 6 honey cells. I do think about things that were invested in the past that we can never that we never want to release. And they're talking about things coming to light. So their feelings for you coming to the surface, being perhaps worried about their feelings for you coming to the surface, and the necessity for them to change their direction and be hungry for their own success, almost perhaps in a selfish mentality if they want to create clarity or closure with you. But it doesn't feel like closure and clarity. It feels like, I often call it a backdraft with all of this fire. All right, pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates. If it does, please drop your comments below for your chance to win a free reading with me, and be sure to hit your notification bell. I also offer readings, private readings through my Etsy account, and that link is below as well. And I do update that shop every day, so keep checking back. But I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 3. You were drawn to the 5 of Cups, and this is your reading. In this no contact situation, what was left unsaid between the two of you? Now with this card, they're just really focusing me on this house on the hill with the lights still on, and they're really playing that song by Maggie Rogers. If you keep reaching out, I'll keep coming back, but if you're gone for good, I'm okay with that. I'll keep the light on. So this could be like a no contact situation that fell into contact and fell out of contact. There could be a little bit of a back and forth here. And you'll notice that this person is mourning. There's a hand coming up out of the water that's holding them back. So it's like perhaps there are, maybe they've moved on, maybe there have been solutions for them, but there's just always something that brings them back here. It's like gravity. I keep hearing that song now too, gravity. Something always brings me back to you. And a feeling of loss. We can't deny that that's a very sad energy, sad representation of grief. So let's take a look here. I'm going to use the Angel Tarot for you today. What was left unsaid? What did this person leave unsaid in this connection, please? The 10 of Wands. Perhaps everything with this 10 of Wands. We have the 2 of Wands coming out sideways. We're going to keep it just like that. They want to speak to all the hesitation that they showed you. It's like they took so long to kind of even express that they liked you, or to give you the clear signs that they liked you. And they really want to take away the fear or the concern that you may have in that approach, because I'm feeling like someone really quiet, or someone that could even be shy, but acting like a tire kicker for sure. Here's the Queen of Swords, and leaving you with a really poor impression of them, or poor impression of how they felt about you. Here's the Page of Swords. They're also referencing, sometimes the Page of Swords references school days for me. So you could have gone to school with this person, like a coming of age story. Here's the 10 of Pentacles. There's the 2 of Cups. Now there are some parallels to the second pile, actually, in pile number 2. The 10 of Pentacles was the back of deck for that pile as well. So they are referencing perhaps commitment cycles here. And somebody who almost, like they're showing me like a Puritan lifestyle, like someone who values the family unit, somebody who has a lot of responsibilities. They value responsibility. They're a good person. And it almost kind of presents like family being like a core feature of my life, right? And that responsibility they take very, very seriously. But they still have all of these regrets when it comes to you. So even if they have a dedication here, they're not here they don't want to wreck anything that you have in place. They don't want to create chaos for you. That's not what they're interested in. They just really wish that they could get off of their chest the things that they didn't feel like they could in the past, about the attraction, about where they wanted it to go, and their hesitation. They're blaming themselves. They say that their hesitation stopped them. But it's not because they didn't want to. It's because they just didn't know where it was going to go, or they just weren't sure what was going to happen if they did take some sort of action towards you. Because it feels like a friendship, yeah. And here's the Justice. And because of this, because of their lack of clarity, they're like, I don't know where it could have gone. Maybe it could have gone nowhere. Maybe if I'd expressed myself, you still wouldn't have been interested and it wouldn't have gone anywhere. But I have no idea now because I didn't express myself. And now I'm facing the consequences of that. I do feel like this is like almost like I almost want to say like a religious person, or somebody who believes in karma. or believes in justice. There's the King of Pentacles. And they are referencing too that they have grown up. There has been a transition between the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. That the same fears that they had in the past don't necessarily exist in the same capacity now, but because of practical responsibilities, their ability to express it is still very limited. And they're also hoping that deep down you know that this isn't going to come as a surprise to you, that if this was a friendship, that they were holding on to this desire for more, and that it's not going to come as a huge shocker to you, because deep down you're actually sitting upon that truth. They want to know that your relationship, your friendship was close enough that you knew them well enough to know that this is true, and to understand that it was just about them and it had nothing to do with you. They were just trying to avoid their own conflict. They were just afraid. 8 of Swords, back of deck. But they're also concerned, like, because you haven't reached out to them, there's been no contact from your end either, that you're frustrated or that you're upset with them. Like, even here with the 5 of Swords, there's a sense of, like, sometimes they kind of felt like they were gaslit by you in the past, where they felt like the signs were there, but you ignored the signs, or you acted like you ignored the signs, but that you were actually sitting upon the information that you know to be true. You have the 4 of Cups. They just also don't, they feel ignored in this moment. They feel like you feel ignored by them. It's like nobody's winning in this moment, not even in the capacity of friendship. It's like, even in the very least, I miss the friendship that we had. Even if it was more for me, I miss the friendship that we had. And so it hurts, I feel like, even now that there's no contact, or that the two of you are ignoring each other, because in the very least, this was a deep friendship. And that's what they're really lamenting in this moment too. Because they feel like it was easier for you to move on, but that's just their, like, they're just assuming that. They're making an assumption that it's easier for you. It may not be easy for you. You could be sitting here within the 5 of Cups energy as well. But something always brings them back to this. Something always brings them back to this truth. And the reason why it keeps bringing them back, I also feel like they're dreaming of you. It keeps bringing them back because Spirit's trying to help them to create clearance or clarity for themselves at this moment. But they're always going to have a soft spot for you. What was left unsaid, please? They also want to talk about how intimidating you are sometimes. We have time to go. Recognizing, again, bringing back that song from Maggie Rogers, that if you keep reaching out, I'll keep coming back. But if you're gone for good, I'm okay with that. I'll keep the light on. It's like, I'll keep the light on here. But if it's time for me to release, then I know that it's time for me to work on that release. They recognize, they're highlighting the bubble bursting and acknowledging perhaps the necessity for clearance. We have a change in the wind. And we also have here tick-tock, timing being very significant as well. We have message in a bottle. There's a little phone in here. And then there's the starfish stuck to the side of the bottle. The bottle is completely clear. We can see right through it. So there's been a lot of crystal clear clarity associated with the attachment in this moment. And even within the no contact, between the two of you not having contact, it's like the elimination of the distraction helped me to get to a place of clarity. But we may have been kind of situating this for a very long time. And they recognize that it may be time for them to let this dream go. They just want you to understand that, again, they're always going to keep a light on in this connection no matter what. What's left unsaid here, please? We have seduction, attraction, flirting, hooking up, temptation, and third-party interference. There could definitely be some commitment cycles here. I feel like this is a very loyal person. We have mirroring each other, self-image, and relationships that reflect our wounds, and a lot of introspection, karmic relationships playing a role here. It says letting go and loving you. There are some resentment and lessons that they perhaps had to go through in order to reach some of this clarity as well. But they can't deny that the clarity is a blessing and a curse, because it is bittersweet. Oopsie. It says, I am terrified to perhaps tell you exactly how I'm feeling. Because I never imagined so much perfection. And I sometimes wondered if you even cared at all. It's like I wanted it to transition from a friendship to more, but you intimidated me, so I slowed things down. I worry about us a lot. I dream about you a lot, probably too much in their opinion. I'm obsessed with what your body would be like. It doesn't even feel like this perhaps moved into a physical connection, and that's what creates the obsession. It says you already know. What was left unsaid, please? That they wanted you to choose. It says, I'm coming, trust, but I want you to choose. It's like I felt perhaps a little powerless to communicate how I was feeling. That's the Magician. Very interested in a physical connection with you. And the back of the deck says, you hurt me, but that's okay, I guess. So it's like a sense of, again, feeling overlooked or feeling like you didn't notice or pick up on the signs that they were giving in this connection. What was left unsaid, please, for pile number 3? Whoops. You make me want to be at my best. You'll never know how beautiful you are to me. I'm sorry I hurt you, so please forgive me. I also feel like they felt hurt by this connection. They have so many regrets. It says home is wherever you are. I also just saw losing you as my biggest regret. Twin flame connection. And it says I can't stay away any longer. We can't deny in all 3 piles today there has been a very strong sense of being watched, or again having someone who's privy to the life that I'm leaving right this moment. But I am being driven by responsibility. It says you are mine and only mine. Kind of possessive. Back of the deck says we need to talk. We need to talk on the back of that deck. Let's get a charm bowl, please. The last thing that this person thought about pile number 3 in the bowl. Whoopsie daisy, we lost it. 9 of Swords reversed. Here's the 5 of Wands. Almost like a jealous energy coming through. They feel like they made a lot of mistakes when it comes to this connection. They really feel like they made too many mistakes when it comes to this connection as well. And it's like they want to, it's like they obsess over it, and they have obsessed over it. And it's kind of a bit of a torment. It's something that they do feel like has held them back from experiencing, you know, the fullness of abundance. So it does feel like a bit of a torment that they put themselves through. Because it's almost a part of their new normal. We have the Hierophant steps. I do think about marriages with the Hierophant steps. There's still bones to pick here when it comes to putting in the work or doing some work. They're speaking about trying to claim independence and a lot of Leo energy. MPMQ and the blue whale tail. So somebody who did not express themselves, and they feel like they're now drowning in that emotion here too. The 2 music notes is a reference to maybe even music that the 2 of you shared together, but also about a parallel path of we could have had it all. We could have had it all. All right, that's what, and perhaps even getting stuck in like a cat and mouse flirtation phase as well. But that is what I have for you today, pile 3. Drop your comment below if you would like to be entered for your chance to win a free reading with me, and be sure to hit your notification bell. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, and I do update that shop daily. But I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope that you have a beautiful day.